Okay, I mentioned this at the top of the show, but Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker delivered a speech last night in New Hampshire. It was quite a speech that I just think you need to hear more of, because there's not a moment in this speech where he holds back. And he makes a pretty compelling case for why calling things out directly and clearly is really the only way to go.
Let's start with something that should, be easy to say. It's wrong to snatch a person off the street and ship them to a foreign gulag with no chance to defend themselves in a court of law. Standing for the idea that the government doesn't have the right to kidnap you without due process is arguably the most effective campaign slogan in history. It's the OG of political messaging. Today it's an immigrant with a tattoo. Tomorrow it's a citizen whose Facebook post annoys Donald Trump. And there are plenty of people in this country who hold opinions that I find abhorrent. But my faith and our Constitution dictate that I fight for their freedoms as loudly as I defend my own. And as a Ukrainian-American Jew who built a Holocaust museum, whose family immigrated here as refugees from the Russian pogroms, let me say this to Donald Trump: stop tearing down the Constitution in the name of my ancestors.
I mean, for Democrats who are unsure about how to talk about Trump's lawless deportation program, that just gave you a pretty good idea. How about Elon Musk and the rest of Trump's cronies? Well, don't worry, you talked about them too. The governor had a few things to say about them.
Our small businesses don't deserve to be bankrupted by unsustainable tariffs. Our retirees don't deserve to be left destitute by a Social Security Administration decimated by Elon Musk. Our citizens don't deserve to lose health care coverage because Republicans want to hand a tax cut to billionaires. Our federal workers don't deserve to have, a 19-year-old Doge bro called Big Balls destroy their careers. Autistic kids and adults who are loving contributors to our society don't deserve to be stigmatized by a weird Nepo baby who once stashed a dead bear in the backseat of his car. Our military service members don't deserve to be told by a washed-up Fox TV commentator who drank too much and committed sexual assault before being appointed Secretary of Defense that they can't serve their country simply because they're black or gay or a woman. If it sounds like I'm becoming contemptuous of Donald Trump and the people that he has elevated, it's because I am. You should be too. They're an affront to every value this country was founded upon.
They're an affront to everything this country was founded upon. That is definitely a not holding back. And then Governor Pritzker ended his remarks with a very stark and very direct call to action. Listen to this.
When we emerge from this, and we will emerge from this, our democratic agenda must be bold and our ideas fearless. We must be willing to slay sacred cows and allow the courage of our actions to match the immediacy of our words. And we must deliver on that agenda for working families and for the real people who truly make America great. Listen, I understand the tendency to give in to despair right now, but despair is an indulgence that we cannot afford in the times upon which history turns. Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. I told you you'd want to hear that speech. And you're not going to want to go anywhere because Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker joins me next. And joining me now is Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Governor, it's great to see you. That was quite a speech last night. We've been trying to play parts of it for the audience. I just wanted to start by asking, I mean, in my experience with big speeches like this, they kind of come from a fire in the heart of the person delivering them about something they really want to get off their chests. What did you tell your team who wrote the first draft about what you wanted people who watched it to take away from it?
Thanks, Jen. And look, let me be clear. We're in a perilous moment in this country. There is, tumult around everyone in this country. We've had our economic rights taken away. We've had our civil rights taken away. And it's only been 100 days. And it's time. People have to stand up, speak out. And I wanted my team to make sure that what we're conveying to people is that they do have power, even in this moment when they feel powerless, where there's a Congress that has given in entirely to a president who's frankly taken us off the rails and who lied to the American people when he ran and won in November. He told us he was going to lower prices for people. He told us that he was going to make the world a safer place, that he was going to bring peace in Ukraine. And the fact is he's done none of those things. And indeed, the opposite of that. Now what he's doing is raising prices and taxes on middle-class Americans, working-class Americans, in order to give a massive tax cut to the wealthiest people in the country. So when you don't control Congress, when you don't control the White House, and people are feeling helpless and powerless, it's time for people to mobilize. And I wanted people to hear that they do have power.
Maybe you just answered my question, but there was a very powerful call to action. We've played this in your speech, mass protests, mobilization. You also say the reckoning is here. What does that mean? How should people understand that?
Well, that was specifically about what we as a Democratic Party need to be doing, that we can't be a party of do nothing, of not getting things done for, again, the people that we care the most about, the people that we're focused on. That's working families, right? The middle class, working class, the most vulnerable in our society. It's important to us to stand up in this crisis and to speak out and, again, push back. And so, hyper important for we as Democrats to recognize this is the moment where we need to convey to people what we really stand for. Didn't do a great job of it, frankly, in the last election, and that's why we didn't win as Democrats. It's time to speak out, and then, very importantly, we have to deliver for the American people. And I think, frankly, in the states, and you've seen states where there are Democratic governors, not just me, but lots of Democratic governors around the country, we've been delivering for the people of our states, but we need to do this on a national level. And the Congress isn't getting the job done. Indeed, now it's controlled by MAGA Republicans who are taking us backward.
This overall vibe of the speech or emotion of the speech, I think, was a bit wake up everybody, or that was one of my takeaways from it. And you talk in a very personal way. You kind of called out the administration in a very personal way for its authoritarian power grabs under the guise of combating anti-Semitism. And you said, stop tearing down the Constitution in the name of my ancestors. I mean, clearly you feel it in your bones. A lot of people watching feel it in their bones. It feels like you were basically saying, my ancestors have lived this movie before. Wake up, everyone. I mean, do you feel like people, even within the Democratic Party or people in Congress, don't understand or they're not tracking where this is all headed?
I think that's right. And I have to say, you're right. It does come from a place deep inside. Remember, my family emigrated to this country from Ukraine when the Russians were killing Jews during the pogroms. This country accepted us as refugees, and we had nothing, right, except the kind of the shirts on our backs and frankly, the motivation of not just the escape and from danger and the safety of the country, but also the opportunity that was here. And, that is, by the way, what most immigrants who come here feel is a real dedication to what America offers. And so what I feel, anyway, is that the dangers that my family experienced in Ukraine, the dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany especially in the earliest days of Nazi Germany, are the dangers that we need to react to now. If we don't, things will get much, much worse. I talked about habeas corpus, and I know that sounds like a concept no one wants to really hear about in the public, but what does it really mean? It means the government doesn't have a right to snatch you off the street and put you in prison without you having your day in court. And that is what Donald Trump not only has done to legal residents of the United States, including U.S. citizens, and you talked about 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer, indeed, who's a U.S. citizen, right? Without any ability to fight back, right? They're taking people off the streets and sending them away. These rights, he then goes on to say in private, someone caught it on camera and on video, on audio, that these rights, he's willing to take these away from U.S. citizens now on a regular basis. So this isn't just speculative. This is something, yes, I feel it in my bones because I've seen this happen before. And so we've got to raise alarm bells to everybody. It's a 5-alarm fire, everyone. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets and speak up and make your voices heard, because that's the only thing that we have. That's the power that we have. And we can stop them in their tracks because, you know what? Republicans in Congress don't want to lose re-election. And if they see that you're willing to stand up and speak out, and by the way, Republicans, farmers, and veterans all across even the state of Illinois, we're considered a blue state, but lots of red counties are speaking up, and they're deeply, deeply concerned. We're seeing it across the country. That's why you see tens of thousands of people showing up at these rallies. So I'm glad to see it. But yes, I had to raise the alarm.